Well, have you ever wondered how educational television can be? Well, this morning we're going to show you just exactly how educational it truly can be. Here we have the typical housewife sitting here with her coffee and her sugary rolls. And the husband who's dutifully made his breakfast for the last 5 years. And I want to tell you about a breakfast. Now, I started on this breakfast several years ago. And I started after reading Sugar Blues, which told me that sugar was definitely no good for my body, and that's refined white sugar. And then Save Your Life Diet, which told me that I needed to have roughage and fiber in my diet, and I'd live to a ripe old age. And then Super Nutrition for Healthy Hearts, a terrific book, out of which I got a recipe for Dr. Rince's diet. Now, Dr. Rince's diet is what we're here to learn about this afternoon. First of all, Dr. Rince's diet starts out with shredded wheat. Now, the reason we start out with, thank you, Marty. The reason we start out with shredded wheat is because shredded wheat doesn't have any sugar in it. It's a natural wheat product, and it's easy to work with. So we first mash it. The next thing we do is to add to the top of this mess a little brewer's yeast. Now, this is a lovely product. We put a tablespoon of brewer's yeast on that. Okay, now if you were to eat that right now, it would taste terrible because you've got to put some kind of moisture with it in order to make it work. But we're not done. Now, the guy that oh, great, wonderful. The guy that came up with this diet was 65 years old and flat on his back, and his name was Dr. Rince. He had a heart attack. I just put lecithin in there, another teaspoon of lecithin. Okay, and lecithin was his key to clearing his blood vessels of plaque. This is the only known method of cleaning the blood vessels of plaque that has deposited itself in the blood vessels. All right, we have a little raisins which we fluffed up in a jar. And those raisins are to give us a little sweetness to this breakfast. And at this point, we're supposed to put on a little wheat germ and a little bran. But we forgot the wheat germ and the bran. So the next thing to put on is milk. Now, looking here at the Tobermans, we're finding that they're drinking whole milk. And we wouldn't think of putting that on our breakfast in the morning, but we'll put it on this. And we'll also pour 1 whole glass of milk. Now, the reason for the milk is that we're going to balance the phosphorus that we get in here with the calcium in the milk and end up with a balanced breakfast, which ends up with, and Harley, you've really got to come in to see this because I'm going to show you how to peel a banana. Come closer. So you have to come closer for this. First of all, cut the banana at the end until it goes like that. Then you open it up, but you don't touch it with your fingers in any way, shape, or form. Slice it down the side this way, and you slice it this way so that you'll get many, many chunks of banana as you go through and cut it.
You really could have done well at Richmond.
Right. This is something that I could teach Richmond. I'm planning on doing consulting in the making of hot fudge sundaes with bananas. Okay, so we've gotten to the point where this is now, after it gets stirred up, ready to eat. And Harley, I think you should come in here, show the people what it looks like, and there will be samples of this delicious breakfast available after the viewing of this tape. It is really good. And just to show you that it is good, you know, I will sample it.
Yeah.
It's terrific. Marjorie thinks it's terrible,
I love my sweet rolls.
but it's kept me alive for the last 5 years. So that's the testimonial.